Hello and welcome to Activating Your Personal Power with Confidence and Clarity. And I'm really excited that you're here with me today. I'm really excited to do these Vibe Tuner Talks live and give people the opportunity to join me live on the line. Great things happen when you bring great minds together. And I love doing what I do. And I love helping people to be able to tune their own vibration station. And today we're going to be talking about releasing fear, and we're going to be talking about choosing confidence. And I'm hoping that you will implement the stuff that I'm sharing with you today, because it's steps that you're going to be able to take in the moment to shift your vibration station. I do have notes with me. I am not a person that uses fancy slides or any of that stuff. You're not going to see any of that stuff with me. But what you will see is great content that you can implement right away to tune your own vibration station and tune yourself to the frequency of your goals. So let me ask you something. Have you ever felt powerless? We all have, right? At some point in our life. Or maybe you felt fearful over what the next step is. Maybe you just don't know what's next for you. And we've all felt that way. We've all felt that way at times. Hey, I can see you here. I'm just going to click off the thing. There we go. Perfect. Great to see you here. So you've probably heard me talk about tuning your vibration station, or you've heard me talk about releasing fear or shifting your vibe, all of that stuff, but maybe you don't know how to do it for yourself. And that is awesome, because the information that I'm going to share with you today is going to help you be able to do that. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to share the strategies from my own personal growth toolbox that I have previously only shared with clients in an energetic reset session. So what I recommend that you take notes because you're going to want to implement this stuff for yourself, because I'm going to give you some steps that you're going to be able to take right now today to not only identify the fears that have been holding you back, but also to release them. And not just release them, but transform them into powerful motivators for your own personal and professional growth. Okay. So as I said, I do have notes. You're going to hear me ruffling papers because I have a lot to cover and I want to make sure that I don't miss anything. Okay. I'm going to be sharing with you a daily practice that I use every day that is going to enable you to not only build and maintain confidence, but you're going to build your trust muscle, because you're going to see evidence every day of how powerful you are through choosing how to feel on purpose. And I'm going to show you how to do that with a daily exercise that you can use. And I also recommend that you start an evidence journal. It can just be a notebook. It can be a Post-it pad. It can be anything. But just where you can collect evidence so that when you go back to look, you see evidence of your own power. You see how powerful you are over and over and over again. And trust me, if you do this for not even 10 days, like if you give it a week, you are going to be not only delighted, but you're going to be amazed, because you're going to see how powerful you truly are, and you will know how to activate that power. Okay. So who am I? Why am I talking about this? My name is Stephanie Kathan. I'm an energetic reset specialist. I own my own practice. I have since 2012. And I work with creatives and artists and entrepreneurs to help them tune their vibration station to the frequency of their goals. But my life didn't always look like that. In 2008, I was homeless. I was a homeless single mom of 2 boys. I was waitressing during the day. I had just left an abusive relationship. We were literally sleeping in my car. And then we went to a motel, and I was waitressing during the day just so that we could pay for the motel at night because it was cold. It was November and we live in Vermont and there's snow and freezing temperatures. And it was scary. And I remember one day I didn't make enough money to pay for the night's stay, and we had to sleep in the car. And I remember, like, outside of the motel, I just dropped to my knees and I surrendered because I knew that there was nothing that I could do, or so I thought. And I was so sincere in the asking that I was doing when I was on my knees. I wanted to know what the difference was between successful people and me. What do they know that I don't know? What do they have that I don't have? And I became determined in that moment to find out, because I knew they were made of the same stuff as me. And coincidentally, when I was on my knees that night, I remember, I call it my dark night of the soul, because it's where I really broke through that victimhood mindset that I had. I had always had someone to blame, blamed my parents for the raising, for the abandonment, for this, for that, for being alcoholics, for the toxic upbringing. I blamed all of that. And then everybody was dead. My grandparents died. My biological father died. My mother died. My brother died. And suddenly I had nobody to blame. And I realized that I'm the one that got myself here. So that means I can get myself out. And in that moment, in that taking responsibility moment, I was able to activate something within myself. And I shifted from that victim mindset into an empowered mindset. I moved over a mountain, literally, to a place where nobody knew me. And even though I had no money, I was able to open up a retail shop where I sold my soap and candles. I was able to start from scratch. I was able to get into an apartment. I was able to do these things even though I didn't know how it was going to happen, because I had surrendered and I had tapped in to that frequency of owning my own shit. And we all have to do that. And when you take responsibility for where you are at, and not just that, but where you want to go, who you want to be, something activates within yourself. So as I was in my shop with no customers, I was able to start tuning in to webinars. That was when webinars, before webinars were cool, before they were the thing. This was like back in 2010. And I started interviewing people because I wanted to talk to successful people. So I started the MindGrowRadio podcast. But it wasn't called a podcast back then. It was called internet radio. And I started doing that. And I started talking to successful people. And I started asking them my burning questions of, how do you do this? What is the secret? What's the secret sauce? And over again, the information that I picked up was vibration, vibration, vibration. And then I started studying energy and vibration. In 2011, a flood came. Hurricane Irene came to my town, and she decided to stay for coffee. And she took out my whole main street. She took out my shop. But before that, I had started doing energy sessions in the back of my shop, just testing it out, doing it on my kids, doing it on my dog, testing out and practicing. And in 2012, after the flood, after my retail shop closed, I opened my own private practice. And I've been working with people just like you ever since, who are determined to learn how to tune their own vibration station to the frequency of their goals and stop living in that victim space, because it's very uncomfortable there. There's a lot of despair there and chaos. And the good news is you don't have to be there. And I'm going to show you some ways to get you out of there today. Okay. So that's who I am and why I love talking about this stuff, because it's been able to transform my life from the inside out. And that is possible for everyone. But transformation begins with a decision. And that holds more power than you can ever imagine. We're going to be going into that in a minute, because it's one of your divine superpowers. And you need not toss that aside, because that, knowing that, will serve you greatly. And you might even want to write that down. Decision is my superpower. So I said that I was going to be sharing with you my daily practice, and it's called the feeling tree exercise. And it's what I call feeling on purpose. And it's what I do with my clients at the end of our energetic reset sessions. I do a personalized feeling tree for them that they can go and use, and then they document in their evidence journal. And what that does, what that practice does, is it starts to tune your default setting, because you have a default setting right now on your vibration station. And it's whatever you're broadcasting the most. If you're complaining, you probably have a lot to complain about, because you're attracting more and more and more. You're tapped into that frequency. And when you're complaining, you are tapped into, whether you're complaining about yourself or whether you're complaining about someone else, when you are looking at life through a less than lens, meaning not enough in some way, if you're disapproving of someone, if you're judging or condemning or blaming, any of that stuff, that is all really low vibing stuff. And it's tuning you to the frequency of not enough, because you're seeing them as not enough in some way. That's why you're complaining, because something is not enough for you, not good enough in some way. And every time that you do that, you are disapproving of yourself. And that's why it feels like shit. That's why you get that knot in your gut, because it's an indicator to you that you are tapping into a frequency that is not serving you. Okay. And we're going to go into that. So get your notebook ready, because I'm going to dive into this. Okay. But first, I want to tell you your divine superpower, one of them, is your ability to feel on purpose. And that's what the feeling tree exercise is going to show you and give you evidence of, and help you tune your vibration station. And the things that happen naturally from this are, you will be getting more and more confident. You will be choosing to be confident in your abilities instead of feeling powerless in your life. And it's a big vibrational difference there. Okay. So first we're going to go through the releasing fear, and then I'm going to take you through the feeling tree exercise. First of all, there's a couple of questions. Do you accept that you are a vibrational being? Do you accept that whatever resistance you have going on in your life, you have created that with your vibrational broadcast? Do you accept that? Can you accept that? If you can, put yes in the chat. Yes, I can accept that. And if you can accept that, then this is for you. If you cannot accept that you are a vibrational being, if you do not accept the responsibility of your vibe, then this probably isn't for you. Okay. I want to make sure that you are in the right space. So if you can accept that you are a vibrational being, if you can accept that whatever resistance you've got going on right now, you've created, and that means that you can release it, then let's do that. Okay. First thing is, I want to ask you in this moment, do you choose? This is a question that you need to ask yourself. Do you choose to love yourself? Or do you choose to keep disapproving of who you are? Because you've been beating up on yourself pretty good. I'm not good enough in some way. You broadcast that a lot. But you are, and that is a lie that you're telling yourself. And when you tell it, it feels terrible and it creates resistance. So in this moment, I want to ask you to choose. Do you choose to love yourself, or do you choose to keep disapproving of yourself? And if you choose to love yourself, then breathe in that decision. Breathe it in. I'm not going to take you through a whole energetic reset session here, but I am going to give you everything you need to be able to identify and release the fears that have been holding you back. So you've made the decision to love yourself, right? And now I want you to think about your body for just a minute. And I want you to see yourself in your mind's eye as more than just these skin and bones known as you. Okay, I want you to see yourself in your mind's eye as that amazing, divine, energetic being that you are. Okay, you are divine by design. And I want you to think about your body for a second. You have literally hundreds of miles of passageways that your blood is running through as it goes through your body. It goes to every part of your body that it needs to go through. It flows exactly where it needs to go. Your cells communicate with each other. The blood pumps to all of the things that make you alive. Your lungs are breathing the oxygen that the planet provides for you naturally. And all of this happens without you having to download an app or push a button or log into something or flick a switch. It happens naturally. You have a divine apparatus that communicates with all of the parts of your divine apparatus. And I heard Wayne Dyer talk about our bodies when I listened to his talk, Wishes Fulfilled. I highly recommend it. You can find it on YouTube. I suggest you listen to it. And in that, he talks about all of the bodies that we go through, right? And I want you to think about that for a second. You went through your little infant body, and then you had your toddler body, and then you had your 8-year-old body, your adolescent body, your preteen body, your teenager body, your 20s body. Been looking for her for a while. And on and on and on until you have your present day body. And they were all different, right? They were all different models. But you didn't have to go to some body lot. You didn't have to go talk to some body salesman. You didn't have to sign any contracts. The transformation just happened. It happened naturally without you having to be there. Without you, you had to be there, but you didn't have to go outside of yourself for that to happen. It just naturally happened. And I want you to think about how amazing that is, okay? And I also, this is really important. You have an indicator system. You have divine indicators that let you know where you are at any time vibrationally. And it's your inner GPS. And it's also known as your emotions, your feelings. So when you are fearful, you have an indicator system. And those indicators light up and you can feel it. That's why when you are having anxiety or you are tuned into the not enough frequency, when you're tuned into that place of something is not enough, it doesn't feel good because you have an indicator of fear. It makes you fearful and your fear indicator lights up. But most humans immediately think that that is a hindrance, and they will ride on that frequency until they allow themselves to get all the way down in despair. But what I want you to do is flip fear on its head, and I want to offer you a new perspective, because your energy and your indicators are always here to help you. They are never here to hinder you. So when your indicator lights up, all it means is that you are broadcasting or tuning into a frequency that is not a match to your truth, to the truth about you, to what your divine piece of you knows about you. Okay? What? Can you absorb that? Can you accept that? That your indicators are always here to help you and they're always going off. You've got indicators all the time. Think about your car for a second and how the indicators work in your car. When you leave your keys in, when you leave your lights on, when you don't have enough gas, when you need oil, you have an indicator. When your car is about to overheat, your temperature light comes on. If you need a tune-up, your check engine light comes on. You have all of those indicators. And if you were like me in the past, I would just put a business card over those indicators and ignore them. And then I would find myself broken down on the side of the road in my life. And that's what happens to all of us if we ignore those indicators. But what if they are helping you? What if they are alerting you? They are loving you back into alignment, because I got a secret for you. We're all going back into alignment. But we have a choice of whether we want to do it while we're here or whether we want to wait until we transition over and we're dead. Okay, I would rather do it when we're here. And I'd rather help you do it while you're here. So when those fearful feelings come up, I had them, a ton of them, before I went live on this video. I was getting butterflies on my stomach. I was all nervous. But I knew that I was tuning into that I'm not good enough space. And my indicators were lighting up, letting me know, hey, you don't want to go that way. You're headed off course. This isn't the direction that you want to go. And they will keep lighting up for you until they manifest as things. If you ignore them, they just get bigger. But you can, right now, love your indicators. You can make that decision to love your indicators. And you can love them for showing you where you're at. You can love them for loving you into alignment and showing you that you are headed off course. And that's all that fear indicator means. It's not the big scary thing that you think it is. And when you do this, when you can imagine what I have my clients do, I take them through a whole system of it, and we go through the whole release process. But I have them imagine a symbol in their mind that represents this indicator of fear. And they see it in their hand, in their mind's eye. And then it takes on life and characteristics. And they focus all of that newfound love that they have for their indicator, because now they know what it is. It is a part of your divine apparatus that comes as standard operating equipment that the creator gave to you so that you could stay on course to where you want to go. And it alerts you at any time that you go off of that course. How awesome is that to know? I mean, seriously. And so if you can focus this newfound love that you have for your indicators, because they never say, oh man, I'm giving up on her. They never say that. They never say, oh, I have been lighting up for years and she is just not getting it. I'm blowing out my bulbs. I'm giving up. That will never happen, because they were designed for one thing, and that is to bring you back into alignment with the fullest part of who you are. And you have the ability to do that when you recognize and acknowledge what your indicator is. That is it. It is an indicator. Your fear is an indicator letting you know that what you're thinking about or broadcasting in this moment is not a match for what you want. Wow. And if you can look that indicator in the face and focus all that love, and then give it permission to go and reset. It won't go until you're ready to release it. But when you acknowledge it and you appreciate it for letting you know where you're at, and you give it some love instead of all the hate that you've been given your fear, because you've been programmed to hate that and to avoid it at all costs. When in truth, it's an energetic gift that comes as part of you, part of your inner guidance system, to let you know when you're off course. When you run out of oil, or when your oil light comes on, you don't freak out, right? And go trade in your car or some crazy thing. You go put oil in. You tend to the maintenance. And you are the same way. So if you will tend to this maintenance, and when fear comes up for you, I'm not talking about the things that alert you of danger. Okay, I'm not talking about that kind of fear. I'm talking about the fear of anxiety, that fear of not being good enough, that fear of showing up, that fear of being seen, that fear of speaking your truth, those fears that can literally throw you down into despair, the fear that you're not going to make it, right? We all have those. And when that happens, when that fear comes up, it feels terrible. And now you know that that feeling is nothing more than an indicator to you about what your vibration station is set at right now in this moment. Abraham Hicks talks about this all the time. I highly recommend you tune into them if you're just starting this journey. They are so helpful. And if you want personalized experience with an energetic reset, reach out, because I would love to help you with this. But the first thing that you need to understand is that when that fear lights up, it's an indicator, and nothing more or nothing bigger than your oil light in your car, or the ding, 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 ding that lets you know that you left your keys in there, or your lights on, or your gas light. all indicators for well-being of your vehicle. Your fear is an indicator for your well-being, letting you know that you're off course and you're headed down a path that you don't want to go. Because at the other end of that, if you keep following that, you're going to end up in despair. But if you can acknowledge this indicator and love it for letting you know where you were at, so important and so empowering. And the more you practice it, the better you're going to get. And I've never shared this with anyone outside of my clients in an energetic reset session. So I hope you take this information and implement it. And if you want individual support, again, please reach out. You can go to energyworkswithme.com and book a session with me. I'm happy to help. Okay. Wayne Dyer also talked about the power of I am, and it's one of the things that builds up resistance within you, right? You declare I am, but what you don't understand is those words are energetically power packed. When you say I am, and you don't match it with something that's absolutely amazing, it creates resistance because you are staking claim. When you say the words I am, you are summoning the highest part of yourself forward. But usually what we do is we follow it up with something that is not a vibrational match at all. Like, I'm broke, I can't do that. I am having a horrible day. I'm in a bad mood. I'm not able to. All of those things. I'm sick. I'm tired. I'm sick and tired. All of those declarations hold power and create resistance within you until a whole bunch builds up and then they manifest. And I seriously was 42 years old before I even learned about the word vibration. I mean, I learned about it in school, like we all did, for 5 minutes when they told you about your 5 senses. And they told you it's all vibration. They taught you that in science class, and then it was over, and then they never talked about it again. And it should be the leading topic of conversation because it's where your personal power is. And when you decide, you activate it. And you're so much more powerful than you think you are. And I want to give you the steps now for the feeling tree. This is a meditation that I do in the mornings. It's what I guide my clients through. And I'm just going to give you a brief overview about what that looks like. And you can implement this right away. You can start right now. Okay. So the morning is the best time to do this practice because you're fresh, right? When you first wake up and you have taken that first breath, the world hasn't quite gotten a hold of you yet, right? That is the best time to go into this place. And the great thing about this exercise is that it doesn't matter who is in the bed with you, whether it's your dog or your mate or whatever, your kids. This is between you, and nobody even needs to know that it's happening. It takes about 90 seconds to do in the morning. And it's extremely powerful. And I recommend that you get an evidence journal and you start capturing and writing down the evidence of these moments that you choose. So it's a feeling on purpose exercise. And what this does is it starts to shift your default setting into confidence, because the more that you see your own power at work and the evidence of your own personal power at work, the more confident you get in not only your abilities, but in everything you do. Your confidence spreads out in all things. So when you are feeling very confident in your own abilities and your own power, then there's a ripple benefit effect, because you are beaming that confidence. You are tuned into it, and you're not only building it, but you're able to maintain it, and you're able to choose it on a regular basis. My friend Molly Mahoney has a book coming out called Choosing Confidence, and it talks all about it. It's her and like 20 of my other friends who are sharing their experience with choosing confidence. I put it on your reading list. It's going to be good. And it launches on the 24th. You get to choose it. Okay. It is a power. It is a superpower. Decision is your superpower. I'm going to say that 100 times. It activates your ability to choose and maintain the vibration of your selection, instead of living on the default setting that the world keeps throwing at you. Okay. So in the morning, you take your first breath, and in your mind's eye, I want you to imagine a beautiful portal in front of you, and it's all different colors, and it feels very safe, and it feels very magical. And you're going to step through this portal, and it's going to lead you into a beautiful enchanted forest, and everything is glistening and everything is beautiful, and you have this basket with you, and you're walking down the path, and you are just in awe of the feel of it and the look of everything as you see the energy glistening off of everything. And in the middle of the path before you is a huge tree. It is bigger than anything you've ever seen. It's glistening from top to root. It is just the most amazing tree that you've ever come across. It feels magical. And as you look at this tree, you notice that it's bearing all sorts of different fruits. And each fruit represents a feeling. And as you choose the fruits that you want to put in your basket, just choose 3 or 4. We're going to choose confidence, and we're going to put that in our basket. And we're going to choose ease, because we want things to be easy. We don't want to have to struggle all the time. We want to experience those moments of ease. So we're going to put ease in there. We've got confidence. We've got ease. We're going to choose laughter, because it's easy to recognize when you come across a funny moment, when you come across a thing that just makes you laugh out loud, you will know that you did that. So we're going to choose laughter and put it in the basket. And we're going to choose fun, because we don't have enough fun. And when you choose it on purpose, it's going to open that frequency of possibility, and you are going to rendezvous with it, which is going to be fun. So we're going to put fun in your basket. Okay. So we've got confidence and ease and laughter and fun. And you're going to imagine yourself in your mind's eye. This is all happening in your mind's eye, right? Imagine wrapping your arms around the basket, and you're pulling it closer and closer and closer to you, and it's disappearing into you. And then just your hands are on your chest, and all of those feelings that you chose on purpose are now within you. And you're going to imagine yourself walking back down the pathway, through the portal. You're back in your space, you're back in your bed, the portal closes, and you have all of those feeling fruits with you. And now your job is to trust your divine team of non-physical rock stars to meet you up with these moments, because they are on it. As soon as you choose them, the universe starts orchestrating. So your divine team is on it. You can call them angels, you can call them fairies, you can call them whatever you want, because it's your belief system. You can call it whatever you want. I choose divine team of non-physical rock stars. And now your job is to trust them to meet you up with those moments. And then, this is the power part, acknowledge when those moments happen. When you come across a moment where you feel really good in your skin, where you feel confident, acknowledge and record that moment in your evidence journal, because you did that. You attracted that. You chose it. And then you lined up your vibration station with it by trusting your divine team of non-physical rock stars. So you built your trust muscle, you're building your confidence, and you're activating your own personal power. And not only that, you're going to get evidence of it in this journal. And you're going to be able to go back and see for yourself that every time you did this, you met up with those moments that you wanted to meet up with. And this is the one of the most powerful exercises that you can do to start changing the default setting on your vibration station to go from victim to victorious. You have everything that you need right now to be able to identify what the fear is that it's coming. It's an indicator. An indicator. An indicator of not enoughness in some way. Right? It's an indicator, letting you know where you are at vibrationally. And to release it, you acknowledge and love that indicator for showing you where you're at, for never giving up on you, for loving you into alignment, for giving you the opportunity to change direction before you hit the skids and headed into despair. Love those indicators. And then when you do that, let them go. Reset it. Give permission for them to reset and let them go out. It's not like they will never go not work for you again. When you put oil in your car, that doesn't mean your oil light will never work again. It means it will come on the next time you need oil. Your indicator will always light up for you whenever you need it. But you don't have to keep the light burning all the time. Once you acknowledge it, once you release it, and you know how to do that because I just told you, then you have reset the frequency of your vibration station to attract new things. You have a new point of attraction now, and you have shifted from that mindset of victim to an empowered mindset. You have activated your own personal power. And these things you can do right now. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to buy anything. You can do this right now because that is how powerful that you are. Okay? If you are listening to the replay of this, that means you've purchased it from the Etsy store. Thank you very much. And I want to acknowledge you for investing in yourself. And if you want to attend these calls live for free, head over to my Energetic Reset for Creatives, Artists, and Entrepreneurs group, because I'm going to be doing these monthly. And you have the opportunity to be on the call live with me. So go ahead and do that. And I want to extend a special offer only available in this. So if you are hearing the replay of this, know that this offer is only here and it is nowhere else. For the first 5 people who reach out to me, I will offer $100 off on my energetic reset sessions. Currently, it's on my website for $297. Be one of the people, first 5 people to reach out to me and let me know. You can send me an email at stephaniekathan@gmail.com. Let me know that you saw this or heard it, and I will honor that for you. because I want you to be able to tune your vibration station. And if you want some personalized help with that, I want to be able to give that to you. So please feel free to reach out. If you have questions about anything you heard today, please feel free to reach out to me and let me know. And share your aha moments. Share your evidence. I want to hear all about your feeling on purpose and how activating your personal power has transformed things for you. And I know that it will. It is my promise to you that if you do this, you will see results. You are that powerful, and I believe in you. And I really want to appreciate the fact that you took the time to be here with me today and invested in yourself, learning of how to release your own fear and tune your own vibration station, activating your own personal power. It is the best thing that you can do for yourself. I appreciate you. This is coming to a close. You've been here with me on Zoom, and I totally love you. Thank you for being here. And please reach out to me and let me know how this worked for you. And I look forward to seeing you on the next live call. And thank you so much for all that you do. Okay, for you, because you're showing up, and somebody needs to acknowledge you for that. Maybe you're not acknowledging yourself, but I want to acknowledge you because you deserve to show up for yourself, and you deserve to activate your own personal power. It's your time now. And I'm really happy to be able to take this journey with you. So reach out if you'd like personal support, and I will see you on the next live call. And please go to energyworkswithme.com to learn more about tuning your vibration station with me. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.